about your career there at Softcat, because you joined there and you were Solution Sales Director, Head of Sales, and then Head of Technology Services and Solutions. So obviously a big chunk of your experience came at Softcat. So tell me about that career there. What happened?
So, funnily enough, I was never going to Softcat. Funnily enough, I was actually going somewhere else. And I got an opportunity to do a couple of weeks of consultancy in Softcat. And if you had the opportunity to spend 2 weeks in a company like Softcat, I would take it, because the place was phenomenal, right? And I was asked to look at a certain part of the business and just make some recommendations. And while I was there, I found a company that was just full of potential, really smart people, right? Energy, passion, this amazing culture. And long story short, the report that I wrote at the end, I was asked to kind of deliver for the business. So one of the hardest things I ever had to do was tell the company where I was going that, even though they had waited kind of like 5 months for me, that actually I was going in a different direction. That was difficult for me, because that messed with my sense of right and wrong, right? But the opportunity at Softcat and the people that I was surrounded with was just so appealing. And the potential there was phenomenal. Softcat are brilliant at what they do, right? They say that, they have a very simple formula, but it takes a lot of effort to make it look that simple, right? And they were looking to expand on the services side of the business, so I had experience building services, and I knew the type of services that would resonate best with a company that was predominantly, a big product company, right? So I started on that journey, building some services, building a team, building some specialists, inherited some people, and suddenly 5 years later, I'd been there for half a decade. It's shocking.
And at that point, everything was running smoothly and everything was running well, and then you decided to leave. So most people, when they've had a career at Softcat and you've had 3 or 4 promotions and it's all working well, they might sort of stay there to get the benefit of working the thing they've created. But you didn't do that. You decided to leave. So what drove you to leave?
It's not stupidity. No, seriously, I'm joking. It's kind of, when everything is running really, really well, I get bored. Like, this is one of the things that I learned going back to my coach helped me understand was, the things that I don't like doing is if there's nothing really new to do or different to do or whatever, my interest level starts to drop. And I had some of the most phenomenal people working for me, like under me, directly for me in Softcat. And actually they probably didn't need me there much longer. Everything was set, and I could have just sat there and just pushed it forward and tweaked and everything, but I wasn't faced with the challenge that I had when I first started, and that because everything was just working so well, and Softcat was doing so well, and everything was just going well. So I wanted to look for something that was a new challenge.
Now, talking of new challenges, James, Anthony, who runs the podcast, informed me today that you are the first CRO role person we've had with that job title on the pod, and I was thinking, that can't be right. Now, it is a lot of new fad. It's a new fad sort of job title over the last couple of years. So the question is, what does a CRO do? What do they do?
Look, so my job is to drive the success of the revenue and the marketing within Ultima, and as opposed to a traditional sales director, right? I've always worked in environments where you've had a sales director and you've had a marketing director. A CRO has the opportunity to manage both of those and bring them together.
Is that the difference? That's the main difference, you think?
So in my eyes,
in
my eyes, yes, because new opportunity, new revenue, which CRO is responsible for, is not just generated through sales. It's generated through your marketing activity. It's generated through the sales relationships that you have with your vendors and your partners, right? It's not a single route. Sales will always do a phenomenal job of finding more opportunities in the customers, and their relationships will bring new customers into the business because people will leave and move on, as you know, right? But marketing plays a massive role. More and more now, as the world is becoming infinitely more digital and everybody's wanting to do their research online and everything like this, right? our buyers are changing, and everything that they read online and the messages that go out and everything, that's all marketing. And if that is not right, and it's not aligned with sales and not aligned to represent us as a company, then we're doing ourselves a disjustice, right? So when the two of them are working together, it generates new opportunity and new customers.
And had you had exposure of doing that before, like running marketing? Or
no, I've always worked with marketing, but I'm the first person to say, actually, for God's sake, get a marketing director in, because I want somebody who lives and breathes this stuff. I want somebody telling me what it is that we need to do. I know what it is that we need to achieve. I also think I have a good idea of what good and bad looks like, right? Through the experiences I've had in the past of what's worked and what hasn't. But no, I needed a proper marketing director, somebody who really could push me and tell me what it is that we should be doing. And I'm fortunate enough to have what I believe is a world-class marketing director working for me.
Now, James, most people want to fix this equation. How do we get sales and marketing aligned? Now, you're a CRO, that's your job. You're trying to combine those two departments because they don't always get on.
Yeah, true.
Marketing think that sales don't do nothing. Sales think that marketing don't produce enough leads. So how do you marry the two, or how are you attempting to marry the two at Ultima?
Without it sounding too simple, just communication, right? I set what it is that we need to achieve, right? And, shall we say, that is set upon me, what we need to achieve, right? And actually, when you have all of your leadership meetings, our sales and marketing together, and you build those relationships, right? You get sales being very open and honest about what it is that they need from marketing, and you get marketing being very open and honest about the buy-in and the need from sales to make those two successful. And then you try it out on smaller things, and when that becomes more and more successful and we know we're listening to each other, then it will continue to grow. And that's exactly what's happened, right? It is nobody in Ultima, as an example, wants marketing to fail, and nobody in marketing wants sales to fail. They know they're both very, very reliant on each other, right? So it's just a matter of making sure that everybody understands what they need to do for each other to make each other successful, right? Sales will always help provide a voice of the customer to help marketing with somebody else. They'll also provide feedback on what's been successful and what's not. And marketing will always help with the creativity and some of the value around, well, what we produce will demonstrate to our customers and people who are not our customers that actually we understand what your challenges are, and this is the type of solutions that we actually have to help you, right? And this is where we're helping other people. Right, and you can't rely on salespeople to tell every single customer how to do that, right? I want that to go out to 100,000 people or 1 million people in one go, right? And they can't achieve that without marketing. And it is working. As I was mentioning to you over lunch, it's the number of net new customers that are coming in that have been generated because they've said, I saw what you put out there, and that really resonates with me, and I'd like to come and speak to you about it, which then creates an opportunity for sales, which then makes them happy with marketing, right?
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, there will always be please can I have a data sheet, and marketing goes, data sheets are so last minute. I don't want any data sheets. Right? You have to get over like the simple mechanic stuff like that, but actually once the foundation is in place, I personally want a marketing team that just thinks as big as they possibly can. And I think I've got that. Actually, my biggest job is kind of reining them in a little bit, right? So.